Okay. You can see where we are and what we're doing today. More Netflix ads. I've got 3 different sizes to do here today. Just not sure how to do this. 350. Which one should I do first? Bunch of sizing this morning. Different requirements. The printer's orders have been stacking up to me. We have 3 jobs on hand this morning. This is going to be Ukiyo-e Heroes for Kubota-san. It's more printing of the one, not the Last Guardian, the new one from the boss fight series. The new version of Zelda, I forget the name of the title. 80 more of those. This is going to be for a batch of owls. We need more owls. That'll be running next week. But I think I'll start with, this is the paper that will become the subscription series January, February, June, July. This will be July's edition of the subscription series. The first batch of 100. There's another 100 coming. So this is, what have we got here? There's 6. The paper was original. I just finished cutting it before you came on board. The paper was originally this size. These are big sheets of paper. Big sheets of paper. They're about $25 each, somewhere around there. And we cut them up. This will make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the subscription prints. So each sheet gets 18. Anyway, let's get to it. The size that I'll be using today is the leftover. I got it out of the fridge this morning. It's the leftover stuff. $25 sheets. It's more than that actually, I think. I don't know my translation into yen. I think it's 2,750 yen. It's worth it. It's living national treasure paper. It's good stuff. So here we are. This is the size that has been stored in the fridge for the past couple of days. We don't dare keep it more than a couple of days, even in the fridge, because this is glue. Oh no, it's gelatin glue, and if it goes bad, we're doomed, of course. You know, so. I need my dead guppy scoop. We've got little bits of paper stuff in here. No dead guppies in there, but I think that's what this is sold for. It's from the fish dealer, fish tank dealer. Bits of paper fiber and stuff. You know, when we're dipping the brush in and wiping, inevitably paper fibers make their way back into this. I think we're clear. price of paper, it's gone up steadily all during the time I've been living in Japan. I don't have the exact numbers of what yen. But pretty much without fail, every time, every spring, when we put a new paper order in, and this happened like this year as well, he sends the paper and he puts a little letter and says, because of the rising cost of the raw materials, the paper price is up this year again. And it's something we expect every year. We're in an environment where, because there's such a low demand for the paper, they're so careless with this. I don't know if you can see this. The sheet should be, can I get the light behind it so you can see it? Maybe see it there, look. The sheet should be totally even in tone and texture, but what they've done is at the end of it here, it gets to be about double thickness. Can you see a bit of a darker shadow at the back there? This part with the darkest, it's twice as thick as the rest. And what they've done is the sheet that they rock, the tools that they rock with are getting old and worn out. And at the end where the thing clips down, there must be a little gap or something. And mulberry fibers are flowing under that gap, and they shouldn't be there. It makes it almost impossible. We can't use this paper to the end because you can't print on a part where it's suddenly double thickness. The color changes. So we've got to cut that off. At the other end, it's the same thing, even worse. There's a line through there. Thin, thick, thin, thick. They're just really careless. Part of it too is a lot of their customers these days are modern artists, and modern people don't care about this. They're going to make a print with an image in the middle of it and then big wide margins around the outside. They don't care. But we want to... Are you happy? We want to use the whole width of the papers. The new stuff we're getting, the trials we're still doing with Sawaki-san. I'm going to be using some of this paper this morning, but we're going to make this next batch of owls on Sawaki-san's paper. This is top secret. His paper is it's smooth, absolutely perfectly smooth right to the end. We can even use the selvage end. There's a couple of dots there. There's a part where he's hung it up, so we're going to lose a little bit at that edge. Anyway, I better get going. He's not always on the corners. I forget. When I did the sizing stream the other day, I forgot to bring it upstairs. I can't spend my whole life thinking about my stuffed toy here. Sometimes I remember, and sometimes I don't. I think I got the wrong trailer here, right? Probably nobody noticed, but I got the wrong trailer running, so let's kill that. Okay, let's do this. Where am I? That's okay. Stream looks all right. No drop frames. CPU 12.5. I did a stream test. It looks good. I'll pop the results in here again. I don't know what trouble we had yesterday, Here's the speed test we just did before we started. Safari is off. Let me confirm that. We are good to go. Let's get to work. One more thing, just so you guys can see well. I'm always thinking of you. Good start. Yeah, this is the part where I do nothing but play with glue for the next couple of hours. I'm sorry, it has to be done. I can't always have interesting streams. Sometimes the work is inherently boring, so that's all there is to it. It's a job we have to do. Your job then is to feed me enough interesting questions to keep this interesting, right? Because unlike carving, while I'm doing the sizing, I can actually watch the chat. So it's your job to make this stream interesting. Looking good so far. My fan is beginning to roar. We can't put the plastic cover over the vents, obviously. Sorry about that. Underneath that, can I? Okay, the fan's gone quiet now. That plastic cover was a mistake. I see questions here. Hang on a sec, just a minute. Least favorite part of the process? I don't have such a thing. I don't have such an idea, which is the best part I like the most, or which is the part I don't like the most. It's a job, it's a job. It's the process, the whole thing, That's one of the sort of attractive things about this traditional woodblock printmaking, is it takes so much involved work and so many involved steps, It's the delayed gratification. There's people that can do it, and there's people that can't do it. Also, too, having so many different jobs involved in this, it really helps it not become stale. If I were just a carver, like in the old days, someone was just carving, then I don't know, could I really do that, all the time, all my life, all day, every day? I'm not sure. But because there's so many different jobs on this, programming last night, sizing today, doing something else this afternoon, it keeps it always interesting. It's also good for your body, It's funny, the people who are just printers, they might get knee trouble or elbow trouble or something, because that's all they do all the time. But when you're always changing the work, doing different jobs, it's also good physically, There's a bit of dirt in there from somewhere. So that end, we need that rough end. We're going to hang this up in a few minutes. After I've covered this with glue, I'm going to clip it and hang it up. So we have to keep that end at this point. It won't appear in the finished prints, but it's needed along the process. There's many times we have to handle and deal with the paper and hang it up and slice it and all that stuff. So we keep it as large as possible to make the print within the area. And then at the final step, before the prints are packaged and shipped, then we trim off all that kind of stuff. And the reason I complained before is that it's the waste area is so large. We would like the wasted area to be as small as possible. But these guys are a bit careless, and it's getting larger and larger and larger all the time. In-house paper making, that's just one step too far. It's a staggeringly difficult, complex job. Paper making itself encompasses a whole bunch of other different crafts, People dedicate their lives to it. It's not something we can easily say, okay, let's make some paper next week, It's just an astonishingly difficult thing to do. We talked the other day about vertical integration. We want to try and keep as much of the structure of this thing as possible within our own business. But that one, I don't know. It's also a question of the level of quality you want to think about. We can make something that looks like paper here, I'm sure. But could we make it as strong as this? I don't know. Right, that's the top surface of those 12. Like I said, I've got 3 sizes, 3 dimensions to do here today, and I've got to do front and back. So I've got to juggle my act here. Okay, this is the paper for the next Ukiyo-e Heroes print. We had a funny experience in the shop yesterday, and one we knew was happening. I know about 2 years ago, I guess. I have to be careful what I say with names here. We can't touch the names. About 2 years ago, we had an experience where an interesting pair of people came in. One was the young lady, Japanese lady, who was acting as translator, interpreter, go for. That's the bell downstairs. Is that already? 8:20. Who's due today at 8:20? On a holiday. Today's a holiday day. We'll see. It might be Cameron coming early. I don't know. The young lady came in and she with her client, and she was acting as translator interpreter for the young man. So I have to say that story this minute. Who do we have here?
Cameron.
Cameron's
early again.
It could be Ishikawa-san. She's back from Taiwan. She wants to get an early start. So.
Oh, nice. Dosa again?
Dosa again. They're stacking up. More for Ukiyo-e Heroes for Kubota-san.
Wow.
This one is for the subscription series for next month, July's print. And then I've got to do some owls, and it's all coming together.
More owls.
Yeah. We have a fairly quiet little stream here this morning. It's dosa. Whenever we're doing dosa quiet work, these guys get dazed. No, they're mostly off. They're playing some video game in the other corner of the screen, I think, or something like that. I don't know. So I tell you what I've got to do. I've got that same problem of when I do the one side and the back side, then hang it up, one side and back side, and hang it up. So I've got to leave from here and take breaks and stuff. So what I can do is, I'm okay for the moment doing the front side of this. Then I'll flip it and do the back side. Then I've got to switch that and do the back side. So I'm okay actually by myself here for the next little while.
Okay.
And then after that's done, I've got to head to the other room and hang it up.
Okay.
And then you can come and cover for me,
All right.
whatever. Is that okay? Is that a way to do this?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Because if you stand here right now, you're just in the way, and
Yep.
I can still watch the stream. So let's do it that way.
Sure.
Right, now that I know he's here to do that, then what I'll do is I'll switch plans here just for a second. And I will do the back side of that one that I just did. So switch plans here to plan B.
Putting in some orders and things downstairs, so when you're ready, just holler.
Sure, no problem. I'm on that one last thing, you saw the 3,000 versus
Yes.
3,000.
I tried to switch it to yen and it just didn't.
But after
stay.
you made the order, if
Yeah.
you switch, remember, currency is saved with each order.
Right.
So even if you switch it back after you've done the order, it's still there.
Yeah.
And you typed in,
But
no, but it wasn't. It had been yen, but you thought it was dollars. You typed in 3,000.
yeah.
But it was dollars, but you
Right,
typed in
but-
3,000.
Yes.
So it kept $3,000. Then when you
Yeah.
switch it back to yen, it didn't change
No,
it.
I
Just-
tried to go and change the invoice file, but that didn't work.
The invoice file was, it had 3000, currency code US dollars.
Sorry.
It's okay. I found it last night because I was looking. Wow, online sales have been so good yesterday. $3,300 online yesterday. And I looked at what? 3 Hunger Club prints. $3,300. Wait a minute. But that told me exactly what it was, but I couldn't find it because that payment didn't come in yesterday. Well, we can talk about it later, but I couldn't find it in the PayPal
Yeah.
receipts.
It was Square. Yeah.
Whatever. Talk about it later. Oh, so that reminds me too. There are some Square payments in from your.
Oh, great! They came in.
But they don't go to you. They still end up in my machine.
Okay.
Well, no, you can't. The machine's right here. So.
But I can log into Square.
Okay. Right. Gotcha.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry, guys. Excuse me.
That's great.
Right. Sorry for the confusion. What we're going to do then is we'll continue the first batch of paper. We're going to flip it over so I can size the back side.
If I turn on that computer, is it going to mess with everything?
It shouldn't do. The backup on that is set to start at 11 o'clock at night. It will do its own backup on the time machine, but that shouldn't affect the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Let's find out, whatever.
Find out. Okay.
So far, so good at this end. He's going to turn on the computer downstairs to start his bookkeeping work. Normally, we like to keep all the other computers off, but let's find out. Continue with the story. Okay, wait. It's not some life-defining story. The woman came As I said, she was translator, interpreter, guide for a young man I'm under specific instructions here not to mention his country. He is in the leadership of a certain country. He's in his own world, he's quite famous. But he travels incognito, for obvious reasons. And he came in because he'd heard about us. He didn't do a print party. He came in because he'd heard about us and he was interested in gaming. So we chatted about this and that. He said, I heard you have some prints. And he had seen stuff on the internet. So we showed him the game prints. And simply, he just gathered together all 10. Gave them to her. And she then did the thing at the cash register. So he is a game fan, this young man from unnamed country. Well, time goes on, time goes on. The young lady has been under instructions to keep an eye on us and to find out when there are new prints available. In last year's Kickstarter campaign, we announced more prints in the Ukiyo-e Hero series. So, of course, this young man has been wanting them. And she's been a bit frustrated because we've announced them on Kickstarter, we've been shipping to Kickstarter, but we haven't always had stock here in the shop. And it turns out that he's back here in Japan this spring. He's been here for a couple of weeks. And we didn't have the Dragon's Gift print in stock because we had sent them to Jed for signing. So we've had trouble keeping prints in stock ourselves. They go to the Kickstarter backers first. Then Jed sells them his own website, and we're allowed to get a few if there are any. So she's been phoning almost every day because it seems they're going back to his country sometime later this week. And bingo, we got it. Yesterday morning, the prints came into the shop, the Dragon's Gift print, the latest of Ukiyo-e Heroes to make it into production. And she phoned this morning in a sort of semi-desperate, it's yesterday morning, she phoned yesterday morning. Have you got it yet? Have you got it? We gotta fly. I said, yes, it's here. So she came rushing over, grabbed this thing for this guy, and his collection is now complete. And she also showed me on her phone the guy's room where he has these things all framed. And all of our heroes prints, I mean all of our heroes prints, and all of the portraits prints, and everything that we have made in this format are all framed one by one. And each one, they have designed and built a custom frame for every single print. And it looks like a really hugely interesting gallery exhibition. If we ever had an exhibition, oh my God, it would be so much fun to do it this way. And that's this guy's room, or one room in his house/palace. Some of the frames are so cool. They've gone the top and left with a red burgundy color, bottom right with an orange color, to match each of the particular images that are in there. So. We get to the desk tomorrow. I know what's going to happen because I've done this before with her, but one of the other staff members was sitting there running the cash register part of our shop yesterday. So this lady, we got the two prints, brought them to the cash register, and they're for overseas. So we normally do what's called menze, tax-free. But to do a tax-free sale for overseas people, we have to ask them for their passport. We open the passport, we do the tax form, we staple it inside the passport. And this was no go, no passport. There are passports, but we're not allowed to see them. So. Somebody's guessing you're in the right part of the world. That's all I'm going to get at it. You're in the right part of the world. Close. And what a cool room it is. What a cool room. This is coming well today. It's coming quite smooth, quite nicely. Someone's saying nice to have international recognition. 95% of our stuff goes overseas. We don't have Japanese recognition. I said 95. I don't know the exact number this year. It's been quite a while since I counted it, but excuse me. Pretty much everything we make, almost everything we make, goes overseas. Very, very, very few. Someone's asking, something in the room is making a lot of noise. The microphone is clipped right here to the side of this food warmer. There's the mic, actually you can see it, that's the mic. This is the food warmer. It's on a cycle, it goes off, on. It clicks sometimes. Can you hear it now? Tick, 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 tick. It's sort of a rain type noise. It's the metal expanding and contracting, expanding, contracting as the heater comes on and off. If that's what you're hearing, I think. It was raining outside earlier, it seems to have stopped now. I was talking about Nintendo suing us. No, Nintendo is fine. We've had no official contact ever with Nintendo in terms of lawyers, letters, or anything like that. We've had lots of contact with Nintendo people on a private, personal basis. And we're in no trouble with them at all. I've seen pictures of Nintendo executives' offices with our prints hanging on the wall. No, the copyright thing in recent years has really, really changed. You're talking about Japan has a much more relaxed approach. Maybe I'll move the mic, somebody's saying, I don't know, whatever. Where can I put the mic? Put the mic up here, maybe? I don't know. Testing. Mic is now up there. The copyright thing, it's in flux and it's in change, and social patterns are all different. In Japan, when I first came here about 30 years ago, copyright, especially in the modern world, software and stuff like that, was extremely loose. You could walk around the back streets of Akihabara and you could buy, Windows OS installed discs and stuff like that were pirated. Now, those days are long, long gone. There is no overt piracy left here in Japan. It's really flipped the other way. There were long, heavy campaigns by government and copyright owners to try and flip it. And with a couple of exceptions, there's very little piracy left here in Japan now. One exception is anime, manga and stuff. Those all the minute they get published, they get scanned and uploaded to pirate websites. And the anime book industry, the comic book industry here in Japan is really screaming about this, because they're claiming billions in lost sales. That's not quite true, but there is a huge amount of piracy of illustrative work, anime books and stuff like that. What did I do with my hairs? And the other gray zone thing here in Japan is the doujinshi thing, where they have the fan art, which is allowed to flourish within its really tiny confines. They have their own exhibitions, they have their own clubs. People do photocopied things of their own parody work and stuff like that. It's out in the open, but it's allowed to happen. Other than that, that's it. You're either licensed or you're a pirate. And all the other companies in our field making woodblock prints who are using pop culture, the Star Wars thing, the Lupin, they go on and on and on and on. They are all licensed because none of them have decided to take the tack that we have in making parodies. So we're an outlier in that sense. So both things are true. Here in Japan, copyright can be extremely strict and tight, and copyright can be, in certain cases, extremely loose and open. So, the comics are a big problem. If I were a comic supplier, producer, I'm not quite sure what I would do. I really don't know. You have to try and make your product more appealing to the fans to actually get it and hold it in their hands, It's like musicians too, because of the music downloads. The concerts have become more important than CDs, stuff like that. We're lucky here in our business, and we're making a product that has analog value. We don't care if people look at the digital versions. Our websites are full of high quality impressions of our prints. We don't care. It's just publicity. Doesn't matter. But because our analog product still has value as an analog product for people to touch and feel, value over and above the digital value, then we're okay. And they're also very, very lightweight. They're easy to ship around the world, and we have kept the prices as reasonable as we possibly can. So we ourselves, I think, I'd like to say, we are future-proof. I'm not quite sure if that's true, but as far as we can see it, we're future-proof, as long as we add analog value and add personal value to what we're doing. Okay, what am I doing? I gotta get, if I talk too much, lose track of what I'm doing. I've done now one type of paper, front and back. I'm now going to move to the second type of paper. I'm going to do the front and back. And that's the point I'll need to call Cameron in, because I'll have to hang up the first one. But right now, I just got to keep continuing. Has Dave shown the Final Fantasy VII print on stream? Yeah, I did. I know they're gone. I don't have them now. They're gone to Jed. But I held it up here and talked about it. Has Jed... I scanned it, sent him a scan. Looks incredible on Instagram shot. I think we've got access to an image. Oh no, Safari's closed. If you go here, Mokuhankan.com/heroes/prints/images. It should bring up no, that's not it. Just a minute. That's no here. Mokuhankan.com/heroes/images/prints. There we go. That's a directory. I'll give you the link here. Here's the link to the image directory online. And in the middle of there, the new print is called Meteoric Power. You can see it in the directory there. Here, I'll link to the... There we go. That's the newest print there. It's printed by Suga-san here, the young girl. She worked with Oda-san years ago. She's been our printer now for about 3 years, doing very, very well. I'm so happy. She's doing such a wonderful job. She won't admit it, but she is. Here we go. Dave, shut up and work. It's a spectacular print, an absolute spectacular print. She's done a good job, and she's done even better than doing a good job. She's done a consistent job. This is what she was not so good at when she first came here, but is now getting really good at. Consistency. The prints come out one by one by one by one, almost exactly the same. And that's what we really, really demand. Yeah, the white hair. So we struggled and struggled and struggled with that. Chon-san recarved the blocks. I went in and recarved some of his recarving. She struggled to get the level of pigment done properly, which was difficult because it went in before the dark colors surrounded it. I'm really happy. That's a print that they're going to talk about from hundreds of years from now. Doing that Kickstarter last year was really, really a good idea. I wasn't sure about it. Should we go back to the same well? But I really wanted to get a reboot on the series. We had let it slide at this end by not making new ones. Jed had become not blasé about it, but we'd become so mixed up with other projects and stuff. So it was so important for us last spring and last summer, about a year ago now, to rethink and renew and rejuvenate and reboot that Heroes series. And I'm really happy we did that. There's the 6 from the Kickstarter campaign, almost all finished now, and we've even started the next one past that. Chongsan's coming over later today. We're going to do the color separation work on the image for The Times Burned Bright. I'm really happy that we're not able not just to restart this series to get back making more, but to make prints that are, I think, better than some of the first ones we made. You know. Any troubles? Cameron's using my computer downstairs, so any troubles with the stream? I don't see any sign of trouble at this end. Bit of a line there, not so good. Is that for me? Are you a fan of video game yourself? You talking to me? No. I've never had a console, never had anything. We didn't have a TV in the house here when I had kids. Back through the 80s and 90s. We had no TV. So we had nothing to do with those consoles and stuff. My kids and I did use the computer a little bit for gaming. No, I can't say really gaming. We used to do things like we played through those Myst adventure, whatever they're called. Are they called games? I don't know what they're called. I don't know. No, never had a controller. I don't want to. Not that I look down on them. Just whatever. We have our work to do. We at this end we make the prints. Jed at that end can conceive game images and stuff like that. I can't. If I learned more about gaming, then I would be too noisy to him about the content. I don't want to have anything to do with the content. I'm an editor of the content in that I choose which ones I want to make from the many that Jed has produced. Yeah, it was Myst. We did 3 of them, I think. We did Myst, and then what were the sequels, or not sequels, the next one that company made, Ubisoft. It was Myst, we did Myst and Riven. I can't remember the third one. I think there was a whole bunch eventually. There was 3 we did together, me and my daughters. We really, really had fun doing that. The other thing we used to play, me and my daughters, was it was a computer game. It was something called Oxyd. OXYD, and my God, we had so much fun with that, so much quality time. It was a game, there was a black marble and you had to roll it around and find the exits from the areas and avoid falling off and blah, 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 blah. And my two daughters, their skill set differed. One daughter was good with a mouse and manipulating and getting the marble rolled exactly in the right place. And the other daughter was good with figuring out what to do. And I'm sitting there laughing and cheering them on and having fun together. And we had so many happy daddy-daughter hours. Stream is buffering, is it? But they said, oh, here we are, dropping frames. CPU usage up to 14%, frames dropping. Cameron, Sam? Just right now, the sun is starting to go to drop frames here. Not sure if you're into anything or not, or what? Check to see what he's doing. Yeah, stop now. We were dropping frames there a couple of minutes ago. Now it seems to have dropped. I mean, it's gone back to normal. CPU usage hasn't changed. Nothing. For about one or 2 minutes there, the drop frames went soaring. These people are complaining, you know, and now it's back. It seems to have stopped.
Okay, that's so weird.
But the fact this dropped frames, it doesn't mean it's Wi-Fi, your computer. It means something's going on this computer. But the CPU usage doesn't change. Well, if it's Twitch, why would it be dropped frames? I'm not sure. If that means they didn't pick it up, or we didn't broadcast them, or my broadcast software can't handle the demand, you know. The ISP spiking. So many things could be the show. Just when we were talking about games. Ha ha ha. Yeah, the monitor here says that I need 2.7 to be able to run the stream, as it's currently running 2.66, 2.7, 2.5, 2.66, and we've got like 40 available. So, okay, same thing. Got to flip this, do the backside. That game we used to play, me and my daughters, it was called Oxyd, O-X-Y-D. It came out of some little German shareware company. I know it long ago died, you know, of course, we were running it on some old Mac in 1986 or something, whatever it was, I don't even know. No, 1990 or something like that, I don't know. But I heard some time ago that it had been what's the word? Somebody rewrote it or re-encoded it or whatever. It's now available for modern systems. And they've renamed it as Enigma, I think was the name. So if you search for something like Oxyd, OXYD/Enigma or something, I think it's available now for generic systems or play in a browser or something, I don't know. It has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of levels. At first it seems like a completely trivial game. You use your mechanism, your mouse, to roll a marble around the screen and match up pairs of colored little objects. And it sounds trivial, but the levels became so much fun and so interesting. Our biggest problem was getting the kids to bed each night in time for school. Looking good. Dwarf Fortress. It's funny you mention that. I hadn't known what that was until a couple of weeks ago. There was a young man here from Latvia, and he came over for dinner a few nights. He'd had a bit of a problem while he was here, and with flight changes, he got stuck in Tokyo. So his hotel was nearby, so he came over for dinner for a few nights just a couple of weeks ago, and we chatted about this and that and this and that. He'd watch me work during the evenings or whatever. And I think the discussion, he'd asked me, what do you know gaming and stuff like this? And I had told him no. And he said, but if you were into gaming, absolutely, you'd be the kind of person that plays Dwarf Fortress. And I said, what's that? So he goes online and we look at it and he shows me, He's sort of half looking at me from the side, waiting to see if Dave says, wow, that looks cool, I think I'll try it. But I'm not a kid anymore, there's no way. But yeah, it's funny to see the same name mentioned here, named Dwarf. Right, somebody's found the link. Have you? Open source Oxyd Enigma download. So it really was fun. I mean, seen from today's milieu, it might be boring. I have no idea. All I can say is that decades ago, for myself and my daughters, it was an extremely enjoyable game. It's simple at first, bit by bit, getting more and more difficult. And we had a ton of fun. It allowed us to save levels so the kids could, go to bed and come back, go to school and stuff like this. Maybe today it's just a joke, I don't know, but it was huge fun for us. How's Golden Week going? Golden Week is quiet for us, always, these national holidays. Well, our main business here in the Asakusa shop is overseas tourists. And of course, when they read the guidebooks about when to come to Japan, the guidebooks talked about the wonderful cherry season, and then the autumn colors, and then this season and that season. And the guidebooks always say the same thing. Avoid Golden Week. It's the area when the Japanese themselves travel everywhere. Trains are packed, businesses are closed, hotels are full. So Golden Week has become sort of a time to avoid for overseas people. So our shop business, people walking in the door, is quite low this week. We know that. And that's okay for me because I'm also tight for staff. The staff worked overtime all over the place during the cherry season, and now they themselves want to be doing holiday things during Golden Week season. So it kind of works out okay. The problem is for me, we still have to be here, and myself and Kawai-san, Cameron, we're sort of running the place. You want an April Fool's stream with me playing a game, eh? Oh, good grief. Yeah, right. To a stream of me sitting in the toilet would be the same thing, just crapping all morning, right? Same result. I've talked about that before, you know, people in the shop here sometimes, Dave, let's play some games together, you know. And there's a game arcade behind us, and they have a Mario Kart thing that's got 2 stations. You play against your buddy or whatever. And any number of people having seen that come in here, Dave, let's go. I got to play Mario Kart together with the great Dave, you know. Thanks for the idea, but no thanks, you know. Life is full enough. I got lots of challenges. I don't need to worry about that one. Well, here comes Suga-san. I can hear her laugh from downstairs. I took her paper out of the freezer. But actually what I did was I put it somewhere. I can't remember where I put it. Don't know where it is. Maybe I put it on her desk or something. So she won't see it here. I'll pretend I didn't do it or something. これ誰ですか？誰？すぐさん。
はい。
あれ？今日？
今日だよ。
でも今日
祝日だけど、
はい、
明日ねっていう。
はい、そうですか、そうですか。はいはいはい。出したよ。It's out. It's okay. 今ちょっとライブです。Say hello. Come say hello.
はーい。
すぐさん。
おは
ー。ストリーム前にすぐさんのこと話しましたよ。
あ、そうなの？
そう。ジェッツさんがインスタグラムで、新しい、新しい作品を出したんですが、
やる時の
いろんな人が見て、もちろん。
恥ずかしい。よいしょ。ありがとうございました。
神はここに場所ないですけど、向こうにここで。
こっちですね。はい、ありがとうございます。
どこにある？
あった。ありがとうございます。
今日、レイちゃんも石川さんも来る。
そうですよね。
So, gonna be a full house up there today. I've been pretty good about remembering the paper. You know, we've got our system. Most days now it's okay. There's the fridge door here. You can maybe see it just in the edge of the camera. There's these yellow dots. They're on a calendar here which show when people are coming. So I'm pretty good at this. Tuesday got screwed up. I went out to Ome on Tuesday morning. And yet some of the staff were here, they were printing. Kawai-san was printing and Dei-chan were printing. But because I got up in the morning, early in the morning, bang, got straight on the train to Ome. I didn't think about coming up here to check the calendar. I hadn't thought about it. It sort of wasn't my job. We were closed. I didn't expect anybody to be here. And I'm on the train with my Wi-Fi doing email and stuff, 9 o'clock or so, nearly at Ome. And from Kawai-san, an email comes, "Did you take my paper out of the fridge?" And I had to write back, say, oops, no, I'm on the train and you're going to be there before I can get there. So. Okay, this is the last backside one of this. So I've got to switch now to hanging up. So there's 2 alternatives. One is just shut down the stream. I can't move the camera anymore. We could try it, I guess. What we could do, I can bring Cameron-san up. we can shut the stream off, move over there, and restart it. That might be the best way to do this. Hang on a sec, okay? Cover these up. Let's do that. Well, I don't think you've seen Lei Chan. Hey, she should be coming here. She'll be here soon this morning. I might get a chance to see her. Okay, I've got to cover that up. Let's do this. I'll go get Cameron. We'll try and move the camera. Hang on a sec. Okay, the cord is ready. We're going to bring the tripod somewhere about there. So we can come back. Who's this? Sit down. Good, let's try this. Let's try this. Huh?
We're just clearing out.
Okay, what we're going to do, for those of you who know, we're going to try moving the camera setup. It sometimes works, it usually doesn't, because if we bump one cord, it crashes the stream. So he and I, we're going to try and move the camera and computer to the next room so I can hang this. If it goes off, don't panic, we will just shut it down, get everything ready, and within 5 minutes we'll just start a new stream. But let's try this, let's see what happens. Okay. Unplug, switching battery power. The camera, switching to battery power for the computer. Don't want this to get tangled with the stream cord. Look at that, wrong way around. Hang on a sec. Battery out. Now the microphone is somewhere. Where's the microphone? That's up here. So let's clip the mic to the camera. And I don't know if you can get through the window. I think you can with those legs, right? You'll have to swing left, swing right, swing left. This might fall off, so keep... Okay, you've got the camera?
Yep.
I've got the computer. Try and keep this cord. Let's try it. What have we got to lose?
The signal. Up and over.
So far so good, I think.
Alright.
What's happening here? This comes in front, I think. The computer goes here. This is the part where we get in trouble, because this connector, these bloody, what are they? Lightning connectors. I hate them. Let's try and get, I need that. Try and put this on here. Are we still up and running? Is the camera live? Look at this. We might have made it. All right. Are we plugged in there?
Yep, just got it plugged in.
Okay. Can you, next step, can you make a focus or whatever for the camera so it shows? I'm going to be pulling paper here and hanging it up there. So can you find a good? Okay, I'll get my adaptive power out.
So you said you're going to be laying the paper there and then hanging, right?
This is the problem, reaching this.
Okay, reach this one.
To here. But I've got to go through that space, you know? Nope, not going to do it. It has to come up on top of this.
Okay.
Oh, no. Let me bring it around the front here, so... Right, if I put it here, can you get...
Should work.
No, because I got to walk through here. You're going to have to move somewhere over to that area.
Okay.
No, how have we done this? We must have done this a different way before. can't do this. We've done it a different way. I need that power adapter. I need that plug.
Yeah.
Somewhere closer, up here. Oh, I know. Okay, yeah. Okay. Take this one. Put this in the wall.
Okay, because that one's a bit
Oh,
longer.
no, because that's only a single. Wait.
Yeah.
How the hell did we do this? Let me just run on battery. I'll just run on battery. We'll see what happens. We're live streaming, but whatever. I think we're up. We're still running. Let me get my paper.
Okay. You can see our printer in the background over there. Until she closes the door. Oh, maybe not. Okay, let's see if this will get you all in frame.
What chaos? Somebody's saying it's chaos. Sorry about that. Whatever. I think we're back and running.
Okay, is that enough in frame for
Let's see. Let
this
me just try.
camera?
I'll do a pair
Okay.
here. I've got to flip this over.
See.
You're live. Discuss, Suga-san.
はいはい。
Wear your pajamas to work today?
何？
You just
Pajama.
There you go. Not even that. You're on live TV. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Cool. Without stepping on that wire. Up we go. Up we go. Okay. All set. You can feel it. Feel the humidity today.
It's so
Today is the day.
humid.
I mean, the winter dry is now over, finished, and from today, it's sweaty season here in Japan. It's pouring rain. It's the southern, whatever we know is tropical.
Wind coming in.
Not just wind, but the air masses and stuff.
Yeah.
That's it from today.
Humid,
It's the
humid,
worst
humid.
season. Worst season. We've had it good. We've had it nice and clear and dry.
Yeah.
Now until mid-October or so. It's stinky, sweaty time.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. I guess I'll just, I'm okay. I can see the stream, so we'll do this. So
Sounds good.
thanks for helping.
Yep, no problem. I'm glad it stayed on.
Get back to work.
Okay.
Dark David, top
I'll
left.
make sure to watch 3 or 4 movies on Netflix to use up all the Wi-Fi for you. Have them all
Again,
going in.
the Mac now is looking directly at the light. If I turn that off, well, no, I can't. Whatever. Nowhere on it. Dave's silhouette. That's all you got.
Unless you look at the bigger screen, then you can see it just fine.
Yep. All right, I'm sorry. This isn't the TV studio. We're just trying to. We're doing our normal work as well as we can. What happened to the microphone, though? Where's the mic? Hang on a sec. What I should maybe do is switch to the MacBook mic. Let's try this. If I turn off the mic, turn on the mic on the MacBook. Is that better? At least you can hear me now when I'm talking, but that mic is now dead. Suga-san の次の紙とか、もうそろそろでしょ？そう。
これすぐ終わっちゃうから。
だからなんか動作キャレンダーに
そうだね。
入れてか話しましょう。どの作品か。
そうですね。
ヒーローズの3枚が今随分少なくなったんです。まあ4枚です。スネーク、新しいスネーク、前久保田さんが作ったもの。
新しいですね。
はい。それからワンダ。ワンダ。馬乗った若い男性。そのものはもうゼロ、もうほとんどアウトです。アウトです。そうすると前、すぐさんが作ったキックスターターキャンペーンのためのロボットとこのガーッ刺したものも少ないです。か、フォックス。
フォックス。出た、フォックス。
だからこの中から、
どれにするか。
そう。一番厳しい、在庫と考えると一番厳しいはワンダです。
ワンダなんだ。
はい。作ったことないでしょ？今まで山本君と久保田さん。
オレンジ色のペンぼかしになって
そう。
変なになっちゃうやつですよね。変なになっちゃう。
just chatting with Suga-san there, which job she should be doing next. So, what? Now we're cool. Okay, okay. I'll change this. Okay, that mic off. I'll put this mic back on. Is that better now? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. The laptop mic is now off. This mic is on, but I can't. No. I can't do anything with it. It's just gonna have to stay over here. Can you hear me now? Back earlier in the stream, I saw something go by. Somebody was asking about the first floor construction, and we have, the last couple of days, made some wonderful progress. Actually, I took a bunch of pictures yesterday. Cameron took a bunch of pictures yesterday. I don't know, I shouldn't promise this, but I'll try and get them organized into a folder for looking at tomorrow. We've put the bulk of the roof of the print party room is now in place. The new, and it's an original, new, beautiful roof that you've never seen before. It is going to be such a cool room. Okay, this is the paper for the Loot subscription series. The other paper now should be also ready. Let me go and get it. This is the paper for the next Ukiyo Heroes print from Kubota-san. 2 sheets per hanger. It's just, it just works that way. They don't stick together. And if I did 1 sheet per hanger, there's 2 negatives. One is it takes up a whole bunch more space, more time. And the other is that they dry too quickly. We want these sheets to dry, I can't say as slowly as possible. We want them to dry slowly. If we hung them up and put a fan on and dry, bang, they get wrinkled and curly and difficult to use for the printers. But if we let them dry slowly and peacefully, then they come out flat. And it's going to be better for us now that the rainy season, well, rainy season hasn't hit yet, but now that it's become a damp environment here, they will dry more slowly. So for me now, right now, I complained with Cameron about the weather. It's going to be hot and sticky now for a while. It's unpleasant for humans, but it's nice for doing this sizing job. If it dries too fast, too quickly, it's no good. Suga-san、もう一つですね、パトリオンチビもありますね。
ああ、そうだね。
すぐさんは何枚やった方がベストですね。次の主な仕事の前に、
はいはいはい、
あのもの100枚とか、
そうですね、
そうしないと全部レイちゃんになりますから。
レイちゃん800枚
そう。だからじゃあ今度の動作、明日、さっていいですか？
チビで、はいはい。
まあ1日か、100枚で1日か2日しかかからないんですね。
はいはいはい。
そうすると、ちょっと自分もちょっと軽い仕事があったら、
そうですね。ちょっと間挟んで。そうしましょう。
OK。はい。じゃあちょっと動作カレンダーに入力してください。
わかりました。
いつ紙が欲しい？
了解です。
Just chatting with Suga-san there for a minute. Her next job. 5 minutes ago, I was telling her we have to get going on one of the hero sprints. She needs to do one of the hero sprints that we're running out of stock on. But I just remember too, actually, before she starts that job, she'll need to do a batch of the Patreon chibis. Because we've got to get those out of here next month. And we've got a ton of Patreon supporters who are expecting the next chibi print next month. Next month, meaning this month, May. So we have got to get going on it. So far, Kawaii-san's made a batch, Rei-chan's made 2 batches, and we need Sugu Power. Sugu Power mo hoshii desu. Patreon chibi ni Sugu Power mo hoshii.
そうなんだ。すぐパワー。連続やな。
This comment on the stream, as soon as the stream ends, people take their clothes off. If only. Back in my own workshop in Olme, of course, I live by myself with a river outside, so yeah, I just used to print in my shorts, undershorts or whatever, all summer long. But it's different here, they're all girls, and no matter how much I plead and beg, they won't take their clothes off to print. That's a joke. It's a shop and a public workshop, so there's a limit to what we can strip down to. So, of course, they will just wear light t-shirts and stuff once it really gets hot and sticky. And then we'll have the battle about the air conditioner. We have an air conditioner in the print room. Good for people, pleasant for people, terrible for the printmaking. If it's too dry, as a dry wind blowing through the room, it's really difficult to keep the moisture in the paper consistent. So in many printmaking workshops, they don't even think about using an air conditioner, just forget it, just sweat it out. And these guys are, from my point of view, weak, and they all really want to do this. They'd rather fight the paper and do a slightly less quality job on the printing and be personally comfortable. And from my point of view as an old dude here who never had an air conditioner when I was a kid, they just are kind of weak people. we wrestle with this all the time. Okay, I think we're coming to the end of this now. I've got one more pair to hang. And that's it. There's 2 sheets of paper left, the other size of paper. I'm not going to try moving the camera back and moving it back and forth. These are the sheets you put glue on and I make them dry. Yes. This paper will be dry by tomorrow morning and it will then be sliced and handed out to the printers for the waiting jobs. We have a calendar in our manager page, and as I'm discussing with each printer what jobs are coming up, they do the calculation of when they will need the next batch of paper. They put it on that calendar. I watch that calendar, and that's why I'm doing this now, because I saw my deadline has come. I couldn't put this off any longer. So tonight, these printers will be getting a hold of this paper. Oops. The last pair is always difficult to cut. Okay, make a little mini room for it. Again, we don't want it to dry too quickly, so it's just going to sit in there because this we're going to be going in and out all day. So we want to try and dry this slowly, so we'll just do it that way. Towards late afternoon, I'll feel it and check it. Maybe I'll open the thing so it can dry the last stage. All right, I think that's it for our stream today. That's where we've come to. I can move this so the light's a bit better. Thank you very much. Good. Thanks for joining us. What's the system here? It's Thursday now, Thursday morning. Tomorrow morning there will be another stream. I don't think it'll be sizing. It'll probably be me down on the carving bench downstairs, working on the Great Wave thing. Although it's possible coming up is another batch of owls, so I'm not quite sure when I'll be doing that. That's coming up soon, somewhere within the next coming up week. Okay, thank you. We've had a no crash stream, very few drops frames. I guess you guys had a bit of problem somewhere along the line. I didn't. Thanks again. Look at this front view side view. Thanks again. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now. Copy the stream one more time so I can read it later. The late night no close print party. What kind of customers will we attract? Who knows? Anyway, thanks guys. Bye-bye. See you later.